Cold email is dead in 2026. Reply rates are down, no one wants to respond, you're being hit to spam, deliverability shot. No longer do it. I have a far better strategy that's allowed me to scale like crazy and has allowed other people that have employed my methods to scale like crazy too. And you know what's great? No one's doing this. And you hear this on the internet, no one's doing this. No. Look at me when I tell you this. No one's doing this, okay? I've got a nice present. I've got a secret for you. So keep watching, and I promise you're gonna get some outbound strategies that you've never seen before, okay? From yours truly, a psycho. Amazing, let's get to it. I love making these videos, man, I love it. All right, cool, so this is best for people who are sending 100,000 emails with not much to show for it. So you're hoping for a 5% reply rate. A 5% reply rate would be amazing. That's what you're hoping for. You hate outbound marketing entirely. If you don't like doing outbound, you feel like a spammer, it's not for you. Or you have no idea how you would close your dream clients. I think this is almost the most important one, because you could have, let's say you're getting a 10% reply rate, which would be crazy high, okay? Which is hilarious in itself. You still are at the mercy of who responds. You can't laser target one person. You can't be like, I want to work with that person. You can't do that, okay? Look at the camera doing this thing. You can't be like, I want to work with that specific person. You can't do that, okay? But that's what this outreach strategy allows us to do, okay? Amazing. So, next thing we'll be thinking is, whatever, Boldy, why should I listen to you? Which I completely understand is very, very fair. I'm coming onto the internet and saying that I have all these outbound strategies that no one else has seen before. Very, very fair. So, who am I? So my name is Dan James and I'm the founder of Thakos, and I've scaled this business to 30K plus a month, and I'm the co-founder of Linko, and this is a brand new offer, so we're at $0. But I have the best outreach ever. Now let me show you. So this is a super video that I did for an 8-figure founder that runs a software company, closed him, and this was the reaction. You can saw people were going absolutely crazy. He said, this is legendary, send me a DM. You get the idea. This is another gentleman who runs a coaching business. I sent him a video, he said he loved the video. Another person said he was really excited for the call. You can see the reaction people are having to my outreach is pretty uncommon. People are like, wow, this is incredible. How did you do this? And I want you to be able to implement the same things, okay? Amazing. So, all that being said, cold email is absolutely dead, all right? Let me explain why. Because firstly, I want to shift your paradigm, and I want you to think in a different way. So let me explain. So people are utilizing these same tactics, same offers in the same niches, and people are tired. You probably receive cold emails. I receive cold emails, and it's the same tactics, the same PS line, the hey Dan, yada, 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 yada. Is this worth a call? The answer is no. The answer is it is not worth a call. So it's extremely difficult to stand out when people are using the same tactics, same offers, same niches, okay? So my whole goal was, I don't want to be at the mercy of all that same tactics, same niches, same offers crap. I want to be able to win because I'm better at outbound than everybody else. There must be a way to differentiate, okay? Now, before we even look at it, let's look at some data from Instantly. So Instantly said that, what's a good cold email reply rate? They say that, they're saying that average is 3.43%. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, so yeah, they're saying average is like around 3%. They're saying that really, really good is like exceptional is like 10.5%, 5 to 10.5%. And they're saying bad is 0 to 3.2%. Honestly, I said this before, this is, I don't mean this as a diss to them, but I think these numbers are inflated. I think that the curve is actually further back. I think that a really good response rate is like 4 or 5%, okay? I think a more typical response rate is 1%, okay? So they're obviously inclined to say that the responses are great because their entire business is around it, and I don't blame them for that, but I'm just giving my perspective. So realistically, you're fighting for 2% response rate to your outbound campaigns. That's what you're actually fighting for. And a 2% response rate is at the mercy of who responds. You don't know if they're qualified, you know if they're a good business owner, you don't know if you want to work with them, you don't know if you like them, you don't know anything about them realistically. So we don't want to work with those people. We want to work with the people that we want to work with. Ultimately, it's our business. So let's take a different route, okay? And let's get 100% booked call rate, inbound leads from our outbound. Yes, you heard that right. And turn cold traffic into warm traffic ASAP, okay? That's what we're gonna do here. So instead of cold email, I want you to focus on creative outbound, all right? Now, creative outbound is where you essentially do one-to-one, hardcore guerrilla marketing, guerrilla tactics, and you ensure that you get a response and a booked call, okay? Because the issue with mass automated cold email is that everybody's doing it. Everybody's employing the same strategies, all right? That's why it's a red ocean. So we go the opposite way. Everybody's going left, we're going right. Everybody's going downstream, we're going upstream, okay? And by going against the grain, you're able to get so much more attention. Like one of my favorite rappers as I was a kid, he said, some people, it's called Ludacris, he said, some people want to run down the hill and grab one cow. I'd rather walk down and get them all. And honestly, I'd rather walk down and get them all. So whilst people are running down, hoping to catch someone, I'm gonna go up the hill and I'm gonna get absolutely all of the cows. That's the way that I like to go about it. So instead of spraying and praying, which is what 9% of cold email campaigns have truly become, this is literally what most people are doing with cold email, hoping they catch a kill. I don't do that. Instead, we target one prospect at a time. And by targeting one prospect at a time, we can ensure that we book a meeting, we can ensure that we make a sale because we do our research and we make sure that we want to work with them specifically. By targeting someone, you can pick who you target, of course. You can't pick who you target. This man don't know who he's shooting. He probably damn near shoot himself doing that. Awesome. So here's exactly how. Now I'm gonna walk you through step by step. So the first one is identify what prospect you want to work with, okay? So you can make it a dream client, someone you would do anything to work with, someone that would change your business, someone that would have an extremely high LTV, okay? So these are a bunch of people you think, damn, like it would be so amazing to work with these people. That's what this is all about, all right? Then what you do is you write down all the things that you could do for them. So if you run a paid ads niche, you think, all right, cool, paid ads niche, paid ads agency, think, cool, I could improve their ad creatives. Okay, cool, I could improve their funnel. Okay, cool, I could do this, I could do email, I could do SMS, all the things you could do for them, okay? You write that down, all right, in granular detail. Then you write down how far you would go to work with them if your mother had been kidnapped. So you think, what all the aggressive, creative things that I could do in order to gain their attention? That's what you do next. Then what you do is you send them something 100% unique. So this could be physical goods, this could be a cool video, this could be a document so detailed, it's guaranteed to get their attention, okay? What you're doing is you're essentially making sure they go, wow, what is this, okay? So here's some examples. So this is a gentleman called Connor. Connor's a great guy. We're actually gonna be doing a client interview very soon. And he used to send physical goods to prospect, 100% response rate, okay? This is a coconut that he sent to a prospect. Now, you gotta think about that. When has a company ever received a coconut? Never. You're gonna respond. You have to respond. You have to get on that meeting with them. Excellent tactics. The next one is a crazy video. So this is something that I've done, I love doing. I basically create a movie for people. I'll very briefly show it to you. Excuse me. So you can see I've created a movie.
We're going all the way to France, we're gonna shoot it there. All right, let's get it. We made it all the way to France now, okay? Okay, boss, there is...
So I'm actually in France and I've shot this entire movie for them with a fun hook and I've made it interactive. Again, because they've never seen anything like this, it's stopping them in their tracks. And that's what we're looking to do. The next thing you could do is you could send them a detailed document. I've done this myself as well. Let me very briefly show it to you. You just create a full strategy document explaining how you can help them, why you can help, why you're so confident. Let this load. And again, this works because you're explaining all your value proposition, you're explaining all the reasons why they should work for you in detail, okay? And that leads with your expertise. And expertise is a great thing to lead with because ultimately, people only want to pay people they think are experts. So yeah, and this is something that, again, I've employed with great success. So if you ran paid ads and funnels, you could give them a document with a VSL script, ads that could work. Whether it's CBO, ABO, you could send them tons and tons of email, SMS, you could send them tons of stuff that will be beneficial to their business. And they'll make that person go, wow, I have to speak to this person. And I've utilized all three tactics to book calls and they're all excellent, okay? So you got to think about this. This is the opposite to cold email. This is how you This is how you book calls with whales, because whales will respond to a physical good. Whales will respond to a video. Whales will respond to a highly detailed document, okay, that explains how you can break down their entire process. Whales won't respond to a very generic cold email. So that's why you have to stop using cold email. You have to start utilizing creative outbound, because creative outbound books meetings every single time. Whereas cold email, you're fighting for a 2% response rate, and that's the big difference maker. Now, with all that being said, I want you to watch this next video, because this next video breaks this down in even more detail and how I've been able to utilize these super videos to get a 100% booked call rate. And I think it's something like an 83% close rate. Extremely good numbers. Anyways, watch this video and you'll learn even more about how you can get a 100% booked call rate. Do it.